You know, I feel like the only person who actually gives a fuck about Howie Hawkins at all. I'm the only one making videos about this guy. When I go into my Discord server and mention him on occasion, people who watch nearly all of my fucking videos, they'll be like, who? Even though I'm sure the people enjoyed the content, they didn't get anything out of it when it comes to who Howie Hawkins is. He's just that unmemorable of a fucking person. Like, you can talk about him non-stop and people will still be like, who? Oh yeah, that guy who ran for the Green Party. Because that's basically the only identifying factor that he has, and that's all people know him for. I just find that whole situation to be very sad and pretty insulting to people who are trying to break away from the Democratic Party. This is the biggest mainstream, quote-unquote, left-wing alternative that we can look to. No one gives a shit about the Party for Socialism and Liberation. Like, none of these other smaller left-wing parties even had a chance of getting anywhere. But the Green Party kept coming out and saying 5%, 5%, we're gonna get you that 5%. If we can just get that 5%, then we can get on the debate stage, which isn't even true, apparently, because it seems like there's been a lot of conflicting numbers coming out when it comes to that, because the Green Party has gone around saying that they need that 5%. Then we've got members of the Libertarian Party, like Spike Cohen, the fucking VP, saying, no, it's not 5% that we need. We need about 15% to get on the debate stage. So which one is it? And who's to say that when inevitably one of these third parties does pass that fucking threshold, that they won't just raise the threshold anyway to keep out the fucking third parties? That's probably what's gonna happen. It's not like shit like this hasn't happened before. Shit like this happens constantly, where third parties are excluded from the ballots in states that they've been on the ballots for in the past for completely fucking bullshit reasons, just retroactive reasoning. I'm tired of the two-party duopoly in general, because it's just tiresome, it leads to absolutely no progress, and the more options that there are out there, the more that people are able to form a dialogue and actually express themselves properly, rather than just trying to be, oh, okay, I'm left-wing, or I'm right-wing. That's how we have to look at things in this country. Greens and the Libertarians, it's still a right-leaning party and a left-leaning party. I've talked about this multiple times. It's a choice that's no choice at all, even when you're trying to avoid the two fucking main choices that you get. And Howie Hawkins has just been an atrocious fucking showing for when it comes to what a third-party candidate could be. One of the absolute worst within recent Green Party history. And the reason why I'm making this video, you can probably have fucking guessed by the title, is because Howie Hawkins actually filed an application to run again in 2024. Now, the last video that I made of Howie Hawkins, there was quite a few people who were critical of my video recently criticizing Howie Hawkins up on the channel, and just third parties in general. Tried to make the point that, okay, if you're gonna point out corruption within the US political system, why would you go after a third party? Because I'm the only fucking person on YouTube criticizing Howie Hawkins. Let's be honest, I'm the only one who actually bothers to do this shit, because third parties are that fucking irrelevant. Everybody already knows that the Republicans and Democrats are bad. It just comes down to, for a lot of people, I think this party is worse than the other one. So I'm gonna vote for the one that's gonna do less damage to our society. And I understand that. Even more insulting when there's blatant political corruption coming out of a party that's trying to be a left-wing progressive alternative. Because it shows that even these organizations trying to get a grassroots movement going in our country are so open to fucking corruption. Look at the Justice Democrats and how far they've strayed from what they used to believe in. Hawkins is actually trying to run for office again after he got 0.26% of the vote in 2020. That was an absolutely miserable fucking showing out of Howie Hawkins. Compare that to Jill Stein's 1.07% in 2016, and it's basically a fucking insult. And even then, when Jill Stein ran in 2012, she didn't get that much more, but she still got more than Howie Hawkins, 0.36% of the vote. So what makes Howie Hawkins even think it's worth his time to run in 2024? Is he actually just gonna do exactly what Jill Stein did, but worse, and just try and run a second time? Because he's not gonna get that 1%. I know he might be looking at this and see, okay, I only got, you know, a little bit less than Jill Stein, so next time in 2024, Hawkins is gonna come in with that 1%. No, he's not. Step aside, old man. Seriously, it's very blatant to several people who are Green voters and actually who looked into your nomination process, of which there is very flaky information. According to almost all the other candidates, you rigged the fucking primaries parties in your favor. So excuse me if I have a bit of suspicion that you, as a candidate who has zero ability to articulate himself, the only thing of value that you have is that you co-founded this party, and that's the only position that you've ever managed to acquire. You have failed at running for office 25 times. He had a pathetic running. It's absolutely undeniable. So for those of you who aren't informed, I've actually responded to a few videos from this channel before, but Howie Hawkins has an official YouTube channel run by what I can only assume is some poor underpaid fucking intern at that. They were doing this series before the election was going on called Ask Howie and Angela, who, for those of you who aren't informed, Angela Walker was Howie Hawkins' VP pick for president. They ran together on the same fucking green ticket in 2020. And I thought that they were doing these. Basically, my theory was that they were going to prop up Angela Walker for a presidential run in 2024, but apparently no. It seems like Howie Hawkins just wants to run again himself next election cycle, which is both even more fucking sad and pathetic, because I mentioned in the last video that I did talking about third parties that I think that Angela Walker, she's at least more articulate and more social media aware than Howie Hawkins is. Howie Hawkins has an absolutely terrible social media presence. Tons of fucking spelling errors, tons of terribly cropped images, blurry fucking bullshit. It's not that hard to find a good PR person. Probably the same person running the YouTube channel for fucking pennies out of a broom closet called the Green Party headquarters. But yeah, if Howie Hawkins actually does intend to run in 2024, I'm just gonna have even more opportunities to beat up on him and call him a terrible candidate and insult the laughable ways that he's unable to articulate himself properly as a presidential fucking candidate of all things. Howie, let me give you a piece of advice, because I'm probably the only person on YouTube who actually talks about you, so chances are that you do watch these fucking videos. Do not run in 2024. It's a waste of your time. Let someone like Jesse Ventura or Dario Hunter. Jesse Ventura has the name recognition, and Dario Hunter actually has a decent fucking heart, unlike you, who doesn't give a shit about the party at all. Your claim to fame is that you ran for governor and you got 5% in New York. You got 5%, and that's your claim to fame. Howie, you couldn't even achieve fucking 0.5. I think I've yelled enough. I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Let me know who you want to run for president in 2024. You can give me a candidate who you'd like to see run for all the parties, or at least the parties that you give a shit about. You know, the four main ones that people talk about. Leave down below who you'd like to see run for president. Who's a third-party candidate that you actually think could get people inspired? Because we haven't had that in this country for a very long time. All right, guys, let me know. Thanks for listening. Stay toasty.